Welcome to Pick Yourself Up. I am Assegid Habtewold, your host. Today, I have two dynamic leaders in this studio. Shim Mekonnen and Mesfun Getaneh. They are the founders of Your Ethiopian Professionals, in short, YEP or YEP. They have over 5,000 members in the DC metro area, including in Montgomery County, who live and work in this great county. Today we're going to talk about why YEP was formed, what kind of achievements they have had so far, and also we're going to talk about the lessons they have learned personally and also as an organization. We're going to also talk about the challenges they have been facing and also the projects they have had. And I encourage you to listen as an individual to learn from them as immigrants. And also, if you have an organization, a professional association, don't want to miss this, because there are a lot of lessons they're going to share with you, some advices they're going to provide, so stay tuned. Mesfun and Shim, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
This is a great opportunity, so let me ask you first, why YEP exists? What is the mission of YEP?
Thank you again, Assegid, for having us here. The main reason YEP existed was because there was a gap that was created in our community. There wasn't one professional network or an organization that caters for people who's looking for a job. There's always a problem of, if you're new to this country as an immigrant, you have to know the system well. And if you know the system well, then it might take you a little while. So what we said was, we have a larger Ethiopian population in the Washington Metropolitan area, but there wasn't a strong organization that helps people to get a job or mentor each other, based on their experience, or have the business community. Even the business community is not well connected. So in 2010, we decided we need to have a strong professional network that kind of address these issues that at the time existed.
So far, do you think that you have accomplished your mission?
Absolutely. Actually, it's beyond our imagination what YEP has accomplished. We accomplished really a grassroots movement. We started with a very small number. It was the three of us when we started. Wow. Myself, Shamalis, and Lulit. But within the last 8 years, we able to add a lot of membership, including members from Montgomery and Maryland area. It's not just having the number of members, but we also help a lot of people to get a job, to their first job actually. And we help a lot of people to get mentors. We help a lot of people who recently came to the U.S. to resettle. We help a lot of people to find their business partners. So these are the few of the things that we accomplished. We invited a lot of pioneers in our community to come and share their experiences. We actually created a community which very active and would like to change not just themselves, but the greater, U.S. helping the U.S. economy as well.
Actually, your result speaks for itself. Having 5,000 members in the DC metro area tells me that there are a lot of services and products that you provide that attracted people. People won't come like 5,000 people without you doing something that helps them professionally. So, Shim, you want to add something? What are, at least tell me the three achievements of YEP, the top three achievements of YEP.
Top three, I think number one, as Mesfun said, I think YEP has succeeded in creating a true networking platform. What that means is, 8 years ago, if you're a newcomer to this country, you have to rely on your, parents, friends, or close relatives to guide you through the job searching process or through the college application process. But fast forward to 2018, 8 years later, if you're new to the country, you can come to one of YEP's events and find someone who's working in your profession, and that person can easily change your life. He can tell you where to apply for a job, and how to present yourself during the interview process. So I think by building that platform, YEP has succeeded a lot. And in the past 8 years, we've organized more than 70 events. So that's a lot, almost on average once a month, right? So that's a lot. And number two, I think YEP has changed the lives of many by helping them find a job. So through this networking and mentorship, we have a program that connects newcomers from Ethiopia with professionals that are already in the job market. And these people know how to navigate the job market. And many people found a job through YEP. And I think that's very satisfying for us when people get that kind of help and change their life. And also, I think number three, I would say we've developed better capacity in our community. What that means is not only we organize events where we invite guest speakers to come and share their experiences, but also we have workshops and seminars on different topics. For example, on communication skills. You are one of the presenters in the communication skills workshop. We organize other trainings on resume creating, interview skills, financial intelligence. So we've organized a lot of these events. I think these events helped our members to build their capacity. That means now they're in a much better position to contribute to the society. They're much better position to take leadership position in their company or to express themselves. So I think build great network and also helped a lot of people to find a job. And also I believe we've contributed a lot in developing the capacity of the community.
I agree because it's a very strong brand. Whenever I meet Ethiopians, if I ask them, do you know YEP? They always say, oh, yeah. They don't even want to, know the full abbreviation. They know YEP. I think it's one of the household names in the DC metro area. You've done that by working hard. So I want to, because, one of the things that we do in this show is to make sure that our audience, most of them are immigrants, professionals like yourself. We want them to learn from your experience. You're new to this culture. You succeeded. Not only you succeeded, you are adding value to the community, to the United States, and also to your own community. And I'm sure also there are other community members who are also directly or indirectly benefiting from you. So my question is, what have you learned? What have you got from volunteering from this service? I mean, you have been serving for 8 years. Tell us your experience, what you learned, how that helped you to grow personally and professionally.
So what I learned, there's a lot of things that I learned, but just to pick the most important part. Number one is, I think before we started YEP, I think I used to look at things as it's very hard, it's very hard to do something, right? And I believe that's the reason there was not an organization, as YEP didn't exist before, because people were just looking at the challenge as opposed to the opportunity. So what YEP, the process of getting YEP up, helped me personally that anything is possible if you put, your time, your effort, all your energy to it. Anything is possible. When we started in 2010, a lot of people were telling us, you can't do it, or or invest on something else, like invest your time on something else. And we said, no, this is very important. We're very determined. So determination makes everything happen. Obviously, you have to do the work. Always you have to do the preparation, all the legwork. But if you do those things, whatever you think is even possible and is not possible right now, definitely be achieved. That's the most important part I learned. Number two is, usually as a human being, we're very good at identifying what's missing, right? We say, or complaining, or this has not happened, or I don't know why this, is not happening. We keep saying that. But what, starting YEP really taught me was, instead of being, identifying the problem, also be part of the solution, right? in the Ethiopian community, I mean, we always talk about, oh, why don't we work together? And you know, it's easy to say that, but what have we done? What have we personally done to improve the situation that we are complaining about or we saw a gap about? So for me, like now every challenge and problem that I see it as an opportunity. Is a gap to be filled, something that could be improved. So that change of mentality for me was a very important part of this process.
So that helps you individually and professionally. I think the key is when you volunteer, you know, because in the United States you have a lot of things to do. You're very busy. You have a lot of other things to do, but you volunteered and you benefited that. You have now confidence. You can start anything. You can fix any challenge. And I'm sure that that reflects in what you do in the workplace too, because the skills that you developed by volunteering also is transferable in the workplace.
Absolutely.
So that's very important for people to understand that volunteerism going to help you at the end of the day, because you're helping others, but indirectly you are also helping yourself and your profession. You want to add something about what you benefited individually by volunteering?
No, I agree with the point Mesfun mentioned about taking initiative, because you know, sometimes it may be like in your workplace or in school, you may wait for someone to come and solve it for you, but also it's very important to take that very small action that can lead to, you know, better results.
Yeah.
And as you said, most of the skills are transferable to other areas. For example, Mesfun and myself, I think because of the skills that we learned by creating YEP and also because of the skills, leadership skills that we developed, we're able to create a business called Meshcard. It's an e-commerce company that provides Ethiopian and other African products to the U.S. Market. I think it's because of, you know, the working together at the app that we developed that led us to create Meshcard, and also a lot of the skills that you learned, for example, you know, creating projects, executing projects, you know, communication skills that you develop, the networks that you build. Those are really beneficial when you start your own business. And another point that I would like to add is regarding, Mesfun also touched this point a little bit, is about, you know, challenging, you know, solving challenges or obstacles. As you know, in leadership or in life in general, you face a lot of obstacles, right? I mean, it's inevitable. And then whenever you face any obstacles, sometimes you have to look up to other people. So for me personally, I look up to people like, you know, Mesfun and get an inspiration, or because that's something that motivates me to solve problem, because I can think in my mind, okay, Mesfun has solved this problem, so why not me? If not Mesfun, I look up to other leaders that I followed, maybe online, and getting that inspiration or that motivation. So I think by working in an organization like YEP, you develop better problem-solving skills, and then you'll get that mentality of saying, I can solve any obstacles, not only by yourself, but also by getting help from other leaders.
Yeah, actually, we need that kind of mentality in the immigrant community. Mostly, you know, you come here and a lot of challenges, of course, a lot of opportunities too. But people may focus on the challenges, because when you come to a new culture, it's challenging. But you can also focus in solving those challenges, and you can tap into the opportunity. The United States, land of opportunities. So you guys are enjoying that opportunity by using a platform, which is also empowering a lot of Ethiopians. And I'm proud of what you do, and I'm sure that this really is a prototype other Ethiopian professional associations should learn to benefit individuals, to add values to themselves, to their profession, to our community, the Ethiopian community, and also to the United States. Where here we have to add values to the community where we have been host. So great work. Let me ask you a question about the challenges that you face. What are the most challenging problems or tough setbacks you have been experiencing at YEP?
Challenges personally or at YEP?
At YEP, as an organization.
I can think of one. This is not only a challenge, but also I see it as an opportunity for YEP, because I believe it's a result of YEP's fast growth in the last 8 years. A lot of people have been hearing about YEP, not only in the US, but also all over the world. And because of that, we've been receiving requests from people in different states and different countries to expand YEP. That means, opening
branch offices, chapters,
so that, we can expand our events, our networks, we can help more people.
And you don't have the capacity to do that. So what we're going to do is...
I think, we want to prepare really well and, build capacity so that, whenever we expand to other states and countries, we can provide our services efficiently. And currently we're working on that project so that we're in a position to open chapters. So I see it more as an opportunity because consciously we decided that we have to develop our capacity better before we open it up for other
so let me take a quick break. I'm sorry, I really like what you're saying, but we have to take a quick break. Our viewers will be back. Stay tuned.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
Welcome back. This is Pick Yourself Up. We have been talking about Your Ethiopian Professionals, why they were formed, the lesson they have learned individually, and also the challenges they have been facing so far. We're going to continue to talk about first the challenge they have had so far in YEP, so that you also learn from their setbacks and how they overcome with that. So Shim, you were talking about your challenges. One of your challenges is about capacity, because there are a lot of people coming to YEP and a lot of requesters around the country, but you don't have the capacity. So that's the challenge.
Yeah, so we've been working on building up capacity. I see it more as an opportunity than a challenge, because we consciously decided that we have to build our capacity before we expand to other countries and other states. And currently we're working on a project to expand YEP, to create the procedures and the institutional framework that will enable us to expand to other states. So there are people who like to open chapters in different states. Stay tuned. Maybe Mesfun can add
It's a
more.
big announcement. I never heard this. Okay.
Yes, I think we can go back to what the future YEP holds. But I think for other groups who would like to start a professional association, some of the challenges they might encounter is capacity building, as Shim mentioned. But we also whenever you start this volunteering association, there is a misconception sometimes. It's not like a regular job, so the commitment aspect of it is sometimes there's a misunderstanding of that. So just the fact that it's volunteering, it doesn't make the commitment any less than the job that you're paid to do, right? So there's the misconception of that. Also, how do you enforce commitment on volunteers, right? Because they would like to see something done. They come with some aspiration, but let's say there is something happened in their life. Sometimes that accountability is not there. They just disappear sometimes.
Yeah, if they're working in the corporation, they are paid.
They're paid, so they have
here
to.
You're not paying them.
Yeah. So to create a system that incentivize volunteerism, we might start from education, actually, why are you volunteering? I think some of the misconception is a lot of times people volunteer because they feel like they want to give back. I think I don't think that should be the only reason. I think for me, volunteerism is not just to give back; it's also for yourself as well to grow as
give
a person.
And take, you're giving, you're getting back. You
Absolutely,
grow.
absolutely. And then I think there's happiness in giving back. So if you want to get that satisfaction, and then also grow as a person. That should be the reason to come, because sometimes we have this again misconception of volunteerism in a sense. I'm giving back, so I could do whatever I want to do, and with that it will hurt the organization. So having a committed people who understand what volunteerism is when you start, especially at the beginning, that's very important.
So that's a challenge. One of the workshops that I facilitate in corporations is how to inspire their people, because inspiration comes from within. That's the best one. It sustains. But leaders are also required to inspire their people to help them bring their best. And one of the things that we talk about is how can you help people see what they benefit from what they do? Because if they see the benefits, what they're going to learn, they could be able to commit. And also recognizing their contributions and making sure that they also do what they love to do. A lot of things that you could do to inspire them, and you're doing the right thing to help them get inspired and keep on coming and volunteering.
No, I just want to say that, passion is very important, passion for the mission, especially in the early stages of building an organization, because it's a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
You have to work longer hours. It involves a lot of communication. It requires a lot of mobilizing, and you're creating something from scratch.
Yeah.
So passion is very important, but I don't think passion is enough, especially at the later stage of the organization. That's where I think it's very important for leaders to build their capacity, right? Leadership capacity, learning tools, new systems, new way of thinking, observing things, observing trends in the industry. And I think that will help you to lead the organization in a better way, but also at the same time, as Mesfun said, will make you a better person, will make you a better leader. So I think it's a combination of passion and skills of leading an organization, I think, which is key to make an organization very successful. But as an organization, you have to also remain true to your key goals and mission. And I believe, even though we made some refinements along the way, the major goals of helping people and creating networking platform has remained the same.
Yeah, actually, this is very important. There is a concept called the golden circle, and experts, they argue that people come together and succeed in an organization if they share common mission, common purpose, than what they do or what they produce, rather than the how and the what. The why bring people together. So your mission has attracted people because they share that mission. That's why they're coming, volunteering, and so on. And I think by emphasizing that mission, how they could be able to really advance that mission forward, people may remain committed to your organization. Let's talk about some of the lessons you could be able to share to similar professional associations. What do you advise them? I know you touched capacity building, you touched how to inspire. Are there, because you're very successful, what helped you? If you have to rank, for example, the reasons why you are very successful, can you tell me what kind of things helped you to succeed, and what other similar professional associations, especially immigrant professional associations, how could they be able to succeed in the United States and help their communities and also contribute something to the local economy?
I can take that. So the most important part that I think anybody who want to start another organization such as YEP has to know, has to do the homework before they start. Because sometimes organizations start, but they don't have, like what you mentioned earlier, a clear mission and a clear goal.
Yeah.
Or they started out of emotions. Certain thing happens and they just want to address that.
It happens a lot.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So what we did was actually, to go back to how YEP started, was when in 2010, Shim and I kept running into each other when we attend other professional organizations in DC area, And we're like, oh, let's do, is there something for Ethiopians? That's what we asked. And we're like, oh, I'm sure, I'm DC. So we start looking. So when we start looking, we couldn't find anything. And we're like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Maybe there's some in the past. So we start asking around if there's other organization that existed before. So when we asked that, people asked that, yeah, there are other organizations like that, but for whatever reason, they're not here today. So what we said is, should we start it? Like we said, are we the right people? Do we have the time? And if we start, why should it be different than the other organizations that existed before us? So we did that market research and our homework to make sure that, what we start is gonna have, a long-term plan and a clear vision so that people can come and help you, even, organization that lasts longer than we do. So doing that homework, the initial homework, is very, very essential and important.
That's the foundation, because I have seen many organizations. Actually, there is a statistics. Out of 10 businesses, small businesses or organizations, 9 of them go out of business in 5 years. And I've seen many organizations stumble because they haven't done the homework, and they need to really articulate their mission. They need to come up with a clear goal, strategies, and so on before they start. They're going to help. Since we have 2 minutes, I want to make sure that we use them very wisely. So my question is, where do you see YEP in 5 years, for example?
In 5 years, I see YEP to be a much bigger organization, having much bigger membership, and I see YEP having its own community center, where it's a big
Actually,
building.
I saw the blueprint.
Yes.
I'm inspired.
Mesfun likes to use that very shiny,
important.
nice building in his presentation, because I think that's the power of.
I'm sure he has that in his home, maybe on his mirror.
That's the
watching
power of vision. That's the power of visualization, and
Exactly.
I see YEP having that kind of community center where Ethiopians get together, to network, share resources, take different kinds of courses, and whenever newcomers come from Ethiopia, will be their go-to place to find, the right people instead of like.
So this is your mega project in the next 5 years. With the 1 minute we have, tell me about your mega project that's going on, because I don't have time to give you to talk about other projects. I'm sure you have other projects, but tell me about the Prime Minister of Ethiopia called to the diaspora, and you want to go back to Ethiopia, help the country. Can you quickly tell us what that project is?
Definitely. So because of the changes, the transformation that's going on back home, YEP as a professional organization would like to work on capacity building and knowledge transfer. Since we have the largest Ethiopian professionals organization, we want to make sure that this immense knowledge is transferred back home, and also try to, the professionals helping in anywhere that's needed back home, because we need a lot of experts in different areas. So YEP will be I guess contributing for that change.
So where they could go and learn about the project and also about you guys. What are your contact information on the website?
We have a website, www.yepnetwork.org, and our email is info@yepnetwork.org. And we also have a gala coming up that they can attend at November 10th, Saturday. This is our anniversary, 8-year anniversary celebration, where we have inspiring guest speakers. We have a dinner, we have entertainment, so they can find about that on our website as well.
Awesome. On behalf of our viewers, thank you very much. We talked about your experience, what you've been doing in your future. I look forward to have another conversation in the future. For our viewers, this is my hope that you enjoyed our discussion. I look forward to see you with another program. Thank you very much for watching.